Afternoon, Mary Jo here. Wanted to go live and talk a little bit about the Inspirational Leader Accelerator. I've gotten a few questions over the last few weeks that I wanted to share with everyone what those questions are, what the answers are, so everyone can understand better about this coaching program I'm offering that I am still super excited about with multiple exclamation points involved. Um, I also have a story because that's what I do, right? I can't help but tell stories um, that I think will help people understand a little bit more about what coaching is. Because I think there's a lot of questions or sometimes misunderstandings about what coaching is. So it's going to give a good example of what the difference is between, say, coaching and consulting, and really where this program is designed to support women in transforming into inspirational leaders. So let's start off with a few questions that I've been getting that I want to help provide a little clarity around. So one common question is, who's this for, right? I talk a lot about this is for women leaders, but who specifically can benefit? I would say that a woman who's in maybe a first leadership role, who is kind of learning to navigate leadership and leading a team rather than just managing, trying to make sure that they are fulfilling their calling as a leader, not just down in the weeds managing. So you're trying to find your voice, prove yourself to your team, and need a little support in how to do that most effectively. This program's definitely for you. If you're a woman executive in a very male-dominated industry where you have this kind of, this funnel, like inverse funnel of strong women that you're tied to, because as you go up the chain, there's less women surrounding you. You're one of few women the further up the chain you go. And it's really hard to face these challenges alone and not have the support from other women that you may have early in your career. So this is really designed to help support those women executives that need other women with shared experiences to bounce things around with. And another great example, I think, is a woman who owns her own business that is trying to grow the business, trying to evolve the business, has a team working for them already. So I love you solopreneurs, but this probably isn't the best design program for you. You would do better one-on-one with me. But if you are growing a business, you have these really big ideas, and you're still a little bit on the doing side of your business, not just leading, and you really need to make that transformation to leading and putting forth your vision and getting your team 100% behind it and moving in the right direction. That's another ideal woman that I think would find this program really valuable. So at the end of the day, I think everyone who will benefit the most from this program also is a learner. You have a growth mindset. You are constantly looking to grow your career and your professional abilities. And as we mature in our career, leadership is, one of those things. It's not only a title leader. You don't have to have the role of executive or vice president to be a leader. It can be by circumstance. It can be because you're involved in a team that maybe lacks leadership and you're stepping into a role that will help elevate that team. So I want people who really are interested in learning more about themselves, how they use their strengths, and how they transform themselves to inspire their teams to action, to provide this really clear vision and get everyone running towards that vision together. So that's who I think this program is really well suited for. Another question I've gotten is, so why is this just for women? And this comes a little bit from a place of passion for me. I do coach people, anyone, any leader, executives, anyone who really wants to grow their skills, men, women, whoever. However, this program specifically was designed for women because I've had this experience myself, growing up in engineering in a male-dominated field, where as you go up the chain, as I mentioned before, there's less women, and I had a really tight circle of women around me that we were really close. But as you kind of continue up the chain, a lot of women have left or chosen a different company, are not seeking a leadership position, or not being recognized for their leadership skills and not being given leadership chances. And it becomes a much more lonely experience as a woman to become a leader in an organization. So that's a big reason that I wanted to create this program so that women are supporting women. And then for me personally, I also think that there's a very slim margin of women in those high level roles, in those executive roles, that there should be a greater number out there. We should have a lot more people. Hey, Jody, I just saw your comment. Awesome. There should be a lot more women out there who are presenting themselves as leaders, who are recognized as leaders, and are getting a fair shot at leadership opportunities. And I think this coaching program really is designed to support women in their growth and get out there and get that job that you want. Go excel in your career and keep moving up in your organization, in your network, whatever that may be. I've told the story once before, but there is a conference in the power utility industry called Energetic Women, which I got to go to for several years. And one of the things they did was that I found most striking was they had this great visual of how few women were executives inside of the power utility world. So this is the gas companies, electric companies, things like that. And they had a marble jar at the front of the stage, and it represented like all of the executives. They did a survey, and it was all of the executives in this marble jar, and almost all of them were one single color. And then there was a very small handful of marbles that were a different color, and that represented the number of women who were in the vice president or higher role in utility industry, and literally top layer of a jar this tall. And there was like two marbles that were a different color, and that represented how many CEOs of power utility or of utility companies were women. And that is not uncommon, I think, in fields traditionally occupied by men. And I want to be part of making that change. I want to be part of helping women and supporting women to get further in their organization, to grow in their organization, and to become executives, to become CEOs. And I think there needs to be a change, and I want to be part of that. So this is my way of trying to also give back to women who are in that place where they're struggling still. I've lived there. I've done that. I understand it. I want to help you get there. So that's why this is focused on women. Another question that I get is, why is this a group? And like I said, I do one-on-one coaching. If anybody wants to work directly with me, you always have that opportunity. The Inspirational Leader Accelerator is designed to be a group program to break through that loneliness that I talked about for women in leadership positions, because it can feel like it's you against the world. Sometimes it feels like, man, I just wish somebody here understood what I'm going through. And I actually had a conversation as I was kind of putting this program together with someone that I've done a little bit of work with, and a friend of mine who said, God, even today in the virtual environment we're all existing in, like, it's just, you feel even more removed from networking and from getting, from your support system and from really building those relationships that would be supportive of you. And I thought, what a great opportunity to make this a coaching program that's a group coaching program, so that you can develop these relationships with other women who are in the same struggle you are, and be each other's support network beyond the program, and be each other's cheerleaders as you continue forward. So beyond the 12 weeks of the Inspirational Leader Accelerator, my hope is that the women in this group continue to reach out to each other, continue to talk to each other, and are always there for each other. I have talked recently about, I had a bit of a week that was stressful, and I needed my support network. I needed my ride or die. I needed my friends to just kind of talk me through some of it, and needed just to pick up the phone and say, hey, trying to figure out how to handle this situation. What do you think? Every woman in a leadership position should have women similar to them that they can be like, What do you think? I want to bounce some ideas off of you. What do you think? And I think this program, being a group setting, helps develop those relationships for women in leadership that will support them long term. I don't want to scare my introverts. I'm not asking you to be besties and go out and hang out all the time. I do want this, though, to be a supportive relationship that you build and keep from past the existence of your accelerator. So what is it going to be like? This is another great question because it's like, sounds neat. What is it, right? um, the 12-week program is broken into 3 segments, each of 4 weeks. The first segment is really about focus on you. It's about learning more about your strengths, your style, your building your emotional intelligence in how you use your strengths to your best advantage in your leadership style, and kind of crafting what that leadership style is. You can look up a lot about types of leadership and styles and stuff, and there's a whole bunch of stuff out there. But none of those, I think, really are one size fit all for one person. I very much lean into 3 different styles that are described in a lot of places, in terms of like being more of a coaching leader, a servant leader, and an empathic leader. So I think, those hit home to me the most and are the most authentic to who I am. And we'll work on that in the first segment of the program. The second segment is about you and your team and how you focus your team, how you grow your team, how you develop your team, and how you get them aligned to your vision that we'll be setting in that first segment also. And then the third segment is all about results. You will have a detailed action plan to get and achieve your vision that we'll create together. And you will use that, and in that final 4 weeks, you'll start working that plan and start implementing that plan and be able to come back to the program and ask me and your fellow accelerator colleagues, for advice, for suggestions, to celebrate successes, to talk about the things that have gone on. So you are really prepared to go out there and complete the execution of it. And I think this final phase is really important, that you aren't just, you have a plan, go. It's very much designed so that you start to execute the plan while you still have the support of the team, and myself to really start hammering out any challenges you encounter. So I'm really excited about like kind of the design of it, because I think it really looks inward, looks around you, and then starts executing. And I think that should be really a great launching. And that's why it's an accelerator. I'm trying to make it so that you're learning a lot, you're becoming more inspirational in your leadership style, and you're doing it very efficiently and quickly, so that when you're done with the program, you're just launching out into the world and showing everyone, this is who I am. This is my leadership style. This is what I have to offer, and this is what I'm doing, and this is how we're going to go achieve this vision. So I get excited talking about it. And I think, as I mentioned in the beginning, story time. I don't know if anybody else has seen, there's a bunch of YouTube videos, and I think they started out as vines. But my kids love, or one of my kids loves someone on YouTube called, his name is Thomas Sanders. And he does a whole little segment of videos called Story Time. So whenever I say story time, it always has to be story time. But story time. So I was actually talking to a friend, a very close friend who I used to work with yesterday, and we were sharing how crazy life has been in the last month for both of us, just how much there's been going on. And as she was kind of talking through some of what was happening with her, I decided, because it was clearly stressing for her. It was very emotional for her also. So I kind of decided to push into coaching mode, and I started asking her questions. I have a strong tendency naturally to want to solve people's problems. But as a coach, that's not your job. As a consultant, you go in and tell people what to do, how to do it, and here's the thing, right? coaching is much more collaborative. Coaching is drawing the best out of you. So I just started asking her questions that were wide open questions so that she could take a step back and think about everything that's been going on a little differently. And we got to a point where she's like, "You're right, I should do that." And I was like, "Hon, I haven't told you what to do or told you to do anything. I've just been asking you questions and you've come to the solution yourself." And she's like, "Wow, I didn't even realize it was just question. You're right. You didn't tell me any of that." I'm like, "Right. Like, you could have landed any number of places, but it was all about drawing out more objectively her analysis of the situation and what she knew was right for her to do to solve it." And that's what coaching is. I will totally be telling stories because it's a group coaching environment. The other members will also be sharing their experiences and their perspectives on what we're all going through. But you get to also banter that around, right, with everybody else in the group. But a big driver of this is me asking questions, asking a powerful question that leads you somewhere different than you have looked at it before, but always completely authentically because it's you driving the conversation. It's you being able to say, "Yeah, so I get what you're saying. I get what you're asking. It could be this or this." And I think, and I don't say it's just helping you talk out loud through it. It's much deeper than that, but it's about these powerful conversations and powerful questions that get you out of your head, take a step back and look objectively and really develop something 100% you and driving you forward at the same time. So that's really it was cool yesterday having that conversation with her because it for me helped me be able to kind of explain coaching to people who haven't been through a coaching program before and what it's all about, so that if you're worried that, man, I don't know, you're gonna just tell me what to do, and what if I don't like it? That's not what this is. This is about drawing out the best of you, using your own experiences and perspectives as well as the group around you to come up with what is 100% the best solution for you. So I just want to end with one thing. The idea of the Inspirational Leader Accelerator is that you'll have people knocking down doors, busting through walls, going all Kool-Aid man to work with you because they see you as this inspirational leader. You'll have this cohesive, high-performing team that is driving and executing towards the vision you've set and coming out the other side with these exceeding goals, getting all the results you want, and then you have everything in your back pocket to do it again and set the next vision and the next execution of that vision and just keep pushing forward. That's what this is all about. So if you are interested, if you're ready for this transformation, I want to talk to you. I'm going to put up a link now. Ta-da! And I want you to schedule a call. Click this link. It'll be in the comments also. And it's just you diving into my calendar, finding a convenient time for you, and I can answer all of your questions. We can understand together better what you need and how I can best support you in becoming an inspirational leader. So thanks y'all for being here. Thank you for listening if you're watching live or if you are watching later, and looking forward to talking to y'all. Bye.